morning Y4 and welcome to today's lesson. Today we're rounding money to the nearest pound. So here you've got a bottle of water that's £3.99 and we want to know if you're going to round down to £3 or up to £4. Now we've done rounding before, but I'm going to recap it. So if you've got £3.99, make sure you write £3.99 for the decimal place. Now we're looking at rounding it to the nearest pound, so you need to be looking at the pound number, which is the number before the decimal place. So we're going to round down to 3 or up to 4. It's important to put your place value above it, hundreds, tens and ones. So to know whether we're rounding down to 3 or up to 4, we're going to look at the tens number next to it. So that number's a 9. So now remember I said to you before, if the number's 0 to 4, you go down to the floor. If it's 5 to 9, you go up the vine. Well, the number's 9, which means we go up, which means we round up to 4. So to the nearest pound, £3.99 would be £4. You can write it like that, or you can put the decimal place in and put the 2 zeros. Another one we've got is a bottle of squash. It's £3.05. So you have to write the whole number out. So here we go, £3, decimal point, and 5 pence. There's a 0 there as a placeholder. Put your place value, we're rounding to the nearest pound, and the pound, remember, is before the decimal place, so we're rounding down to 3 or up to 4. So we look at the number next to it, which is 0. Remember, 0 to 4 goes down to the floor, so we're rounding down to 3. The answer isn't 3, it's £3. Okay, now, here we've got some bigger numbers and it's asking you to round it to the nearest pound and then round it to the nearest 10. So we're going to have a go at rounding it to the nearest pound first. We've got £15.90. So again, write it out properly like this, £15, decimal point, and 90. Put your place value, so this will be thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. We're rounding it to the nearest pound. Okay, so the pound is here, £15. So is that going to stay as £15 or is it going to go up to £16? Okay, so we're going to look at the number before it, which is a 9. So remember, 5 to 9 you go up the vine, so that would round up to 16. The answer isn't 16, you must write the answer like this, the pound sign and 16. You can leave it like that, or you can put the decimal place in and the zeros to show there's no pence. And then it's asking to round £15.90 to the nearest £10. Now, again, £15.90 to the nearest £10, so put my place value in. Now, to the nearest £10, it wouldn't be 15 and 16, they're not tens numbers, so it's either going to be £10 or the next tens number would be £20. Okay, so you're looking at the thousands columns here. So is it going to be £10 or is it going to be £20? Now we need to look at the number next to it, which is a 5. So do we round up or down? Well, 5 to 9 you go up the vine, which would round up to £20. Now the reason for this is, on the previous one, go back, we were rounding £15.90 to the nearest pound, so you could look at the thousands and hundreds together. The next, it's either going to be £15 or it's £16, because that's the next pound. But here, I wasn't asking for the nearest pound, I was asking for the nearest £10, and the £10 are in the thousand column. 15 and 16 are not tens, they're just pounds. £10 and £20, so multiples of 10. I'm going to do another example for you. So we've got £24.45, £24.45, pound sign, place value, thousands, hundreds, tens and ones. If you're rounding it to the nearest pound, we're going to look at these two numbers here. So it's either going to stay as £24 or it's going to go up to £25. we look at the number before it, which is the 4. So 0 to 4, you go down to the floor. So it's going to stay as £24. If we're rounding to the nearest £10, again, I'll write it out, £24.45. Notice that I keep using my place value to help me. It's important that you place value above it. 24 and 25 are not £10. You're either going to have here, look in the thousands column, these are your £10. You're going to have £20 or you're going to have £30, because 24 is between 20 and 30. So we need to look at the number next to it, which is a 4. Are we going to round up or down? 0 to 4, you go to the floor. So the answer would be £20. So 24 is between £20 and £30 if you're rounding to the nearest £10. If you're rounding to the nearest pound, £24 is going to be between 24 or £25, like here. Okay? Now your questions today are very similar. So the first 4 of them, it's saying round £1.60 to the nearest pound. Now you have got a number line to use here to help you, but you don't necessarily need to use that because you can use your place value and use the way I've shown you how to do it in class, like here. Okay? When you've done those, you can use a number line if you want to help you. Then it gets into the tricky ones where you're rounding to the nearest pound and then rounding to the nearest £10. When you're rounding to the nearest £10, please make sure you're looking at the thousands column. If you've got any questions, leave them in the blog. If not, have a good day. I'll speak to you tomorrow.